folks, my name is Mark and this is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? So this is a video about Ellen Pao and Reddit. And if you don't know what's happening, if you don't know what Reddit is, first off, you must be living under a bridge somewhere. Secondly, if you don't know what's happening with this, what's happening is that for a number of reasons, the Reddit, a large group of people on Reddit have kind of revolted against the site, and there's a really huge petition in order to fire Ellen Pao, and it's reached something like 250,000 signatures or some shit in the last couple of days. So what happened was a couple of things. Okay, a few things happened on the site. A few weeks ago, there was a subreddit called Fat People Hate, and they went a little too far, right? Basically, it was a subreddit all about making fun of fat people and why fat people suck. And basically, it was basically a hate Reddit, you know, a hate subreddit, hate sub, I guess is what they call it, you know, where they would just taunt fat people and fat people are assholes and shit like that. And they started posting pictures of the staff of Reddit and Imgur, right? Because the people on Imgur complained that they were using their website in order to host pictures to taunt people, and so they started posting pictures of people on that like work at fucking Imgur, right? And so Imgur complained to Reddit, and then Reddit just banned that entire site, that entire sub, and that pissed a lot of people off, right? That's the first thing. And then the spark that really got it going, so people already hated Ellen Pao because they blamed her for that. Then the spark that really got it going was a person that organized the Ask Me Anything sub, which is the AMA sub, was let go, and nobody knows why. And so what happened was the mods of that sub decided to make it private in protest, because apparently this person that ran it was vital to the operation of the sub, of organizing everything, right? And they really wanted to keep her, and then, but Reddit, you know, Reddit got rid of her for whatever reason. So they decided to make it private. So then a bunch of other subs decided we're going to make ours private too in order to, you know, protest, right? And then one thing kind of led to another, and then the petition went out there, and a bunch of people jumped on it, and everybody is blaming Ellen Pao for all this shit. So, now, my own stance is, I think I'm gonna piss some people off and probably maybe lose some viewers, but I'm taking Ellen Pao's side, okay? And I'll tell you why. There are a couple of reasons. The first reason is because capitalism. That's my first reason. The reason, well, the alleged reason, from what I can find out, that this person that ran the AMAs, this whatever, I can't remember her name, but the person that organized the AMAs with celebrities and such was let go, was because Reddit apparently wants to monetize that process. See, Reddit is a site that gets over 5 million uniques a day, right? It's insane. That's a ridiculous amount of people. That's like, you know, that's close to like the same kind of traffic that fucking Facebook gets. I mean, it's 5 million people a day go on this, unique a day, and each person spends like hours and shit on it. It's crazy, right? So, but they don't really, I mean, if you look at the site, it's relatively ad-free. I mean, they have like one ad, you know, if you go on it on the fucking, you know, left. So how the fuck are they making money, number one? I can only imagine how much the shit it costs in like server, you know, upkeep and maintenance and development costs and all that to keep this fucking site going. I mean, I don't know how they do it. They must have some kind of, you know, are they really supporting themselves on $20 ads? I don't know. I can tell you that if it was my fucking website that was getting 5 million, you know, hits a day, uniques a day, I'd have ads on every fucking square inch of that shit, okay? But that's just me. Anyway, so that's the first thing, is that they wanted to monetize that, right? Well, yeah, you know, not everybody that does an AMA is a celebrity, all right? I understand that, you know, anybody can do an AMA. But a lot of really rich, high-profile people go on there, and it's basically a free venue. you know, where they can go on and they can do a question and answer session with people. And we're starting to see celebrities going on there to like promote whatever movie or book they have. Fucking the president went on it. President Obama did an AMA where he answered like 5 questions, right? But, you know, something like 2 million people went to that one. You know, that's crazy, right? So that's the kind of numbers we're dealing with. And if Reddit goes, you know what, we should charge people, we should charge celebrities and rich people if they're going to do an AMA, it's good. They should. They should do it. They should collect that revenue, all right? Because they're basically giving this entire site to us for free, as far as I see it. Right, and it's their fucking website. They get to do whatever the fuck they want with it. If they wanted to put pop-up ads on it, then they should be able to do it, you know. They don't. That's the thing. They have one ad. They don't have pop-up ads. They don't have those, you know, those like annoying video ads that like you'll go to some forum and they'll just pop up and you know, and you can't turn them off. They don't have that shit. They don't have pop-ups. They don't have those redirect ones, you know. They don't make you watch a 10 fucking, you know, 15-second video before you get their content. They don't do any of that. They have one little fucking ad, right? So that's my first thing, right? And the second reason is because I think there's some misplaced anger against Ellen Pao. Now, a little while ago, like there's a perception that she's like some kind of militant feminist social justice warrior type, you know, crazy person that's trying to sanitize Reddit, and that's complete fucking horseshit. Okay, so there's another side of it. So basically, a little while ago, there was a Reddit, a sub called Fat People Hate, which was on Reddit. And if you haven't heard about this, basically, it was a sub dedicated to discrimination against fat people. See, that's the thing people don't realize about Reddit, is that if you're just a casual user, you might not encounter the dark side of Reddit. There's definitely a very dark underbelly to the whole thing, you know. So you have, you know, your funny cat pictures and your videos and politics and shit like that. And then you also have tons and tons of weird and, you know, weird shit and like fucking porn. There's just, you know, Reddit is like the best porn aggregator there is. Okay. You can find anything you possibly want on it. There's hate subs, you know, there's fucking white supremacists and black supremacists and skinheads and fucking all kinds of just vile shit on there, you know. And the thing is that most of the time Reddit looks the other way when you have these subs, you know, right, these hate subs and shit like that, right? They look the other way as long as the people that are in that sub obey the rules, keep their head down, and don't rock the boat. Right. Well, a little while ago, there was a Reddit sub called Fat People Hate, you know, which basically would post, the whole thing was about just making fun of fat people and why fat people are dicks and why they suck and, you know, how we'd all be better off if they all just died, shit like that, right? And they use a site called Imgur to post their pictures. And Imgur was complaining because they didn't want to be used in this way, and the people in Fat People Hate started posting pictures of the Imgur staff and the Reddit staff, you know, the people that they said who were fat that work there, and started making fun of them, and then Reddit reacted by just banning the entire site and everybody on it, right? So that pissed a lot of people off. A lot of people started screaming free speech and shit like that, you know, and free speech and blah, 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 and all that. Even though it's like, this has nothing to fucking do with free speech. It has to do with, you know, a venue allowing the kind of, a venue like Reddit allowing the kind of speech that they want. You know, so anyway, we'll get into that in a second. So that pissing people off, right? And now people see that, and some other things have come out about Ellen Pao. For instance, she is involved in a lawsuit with her former employer, and so over sexual harassment, right? A sexual harassment suit. And here's the thing, is that there's a large group of people on Reddit, you know, that are basically, they're like the Gamergate kind of anti-social justice warrior type people. They're people that, they're basically social conservatives, you know, but they're too young to, like, you know, like they're young enough that they understand the baggage that comes with that label, you know. But that's essentially what they are, right? they're very, very anti-feminist. They're anti-social justice. They're anti, political correctness, things like that, right? And sometimes these people have a point, but usually I think they're, I think the whole thing's a load of fucking crap. But that's just me. So anyway, they think that Ellen Pao is trying to sanitize the site, and after that happened, after the fat people hate thing happened, there was panic, basically saying that they're going to get rid of all the hate subs and they're going to get rid of all of, our Coontown. That's another one. There's one called Coontown where they just, it's basically like fucking, Nazis and white supremacists and shit, right? There's one called White Rights, which is really vile. They were afraid that all of the hate subs were going to be shut down and this and that, and it didn't happen, right? And now they're kind of jumping on the bandwagon here, with this anti-Ellen Pao thing, because they're afraid that she's gonna like kick them all off the site and ban all of their subreddits, which is bullshit. I mean, if they wanted to, they would have done it already. And the thing is, I think they have the right to, if they felt like it. The thing is, there might even really be some of that in there. That might actually be true. They might actually want to limit the exposure of those subreddits. And I'll tell you why. Because a company is not going to they're not going to buy an advertisement with you if they think that you're endorsing hate speech, okay? And that's the truth. Basically, imagine that you run a business, you run a sandwich shop, and there's a magazine or something, an online magazine or whatever, and they want you to buy an ad with them, but then they fucking run a column by like a white supremacist. Are you gonna so the thing is, if your ad is in that magazine, that associates you with that viewpoint, whether you agree with it or not, right? And that's basically why they see it, the people from Reddit see it as a way that it's holding them back. Having these hate subs in there is holding them back from fucking getting revenue, from the 5 million uniques that they get a day, right? And I think it's, even though there has been zero evidence as far as I can see that they're actually planning on doing anything like this, if they were, I would support it because it's their website, right? They can do whatever they want. See, that's the thing, is that people go, well, it's free speech, and, Reddit stomping down on fat people hate or whatever is limiting the free speech of the people that go on that sub. That's a load of shit. See, that has, free speech basically is guaranteed to you by the government, right? So if the government ran Reddit, they would have no right to limit speech, right? But the government does not run Reddit. Reddit is a private corporation, right? They get to decide, who they allow and who they don't allow to post on their website, right? They get to decide who they want to be associated with. So what Reddit wants is that they want to be associated with, the cat pictures and the AMAs, and not with the porn and the white supremacists, right? So it's complete. That's the thing, is that it's completely within their rights to do so. If they were to choose to purge their site of all the hate speech, that's their thing. And if you don't like it, go to some other site. Go to Vote. That's one. That's a Reddit clone that's out there that all the, crazy fucking racist conspirators and shit are setting up shop at. And good for them. And you know what's going to happen? Eventually that site will be really big and they'll do the exact same thing. They'll kick them all off because in the end, these are businesses. All right, that's what they are. Reddit is a business, okay? It's not a venue made for free speech. Right, so that you can go and say whatever you want and fuck whoever. No, it's basically they're making this site so that they can make money, so that they can feed their families, and essentially. All right, so I'm taking I take Ellen Pao's side because I think it's she's the one in charge, right? She's the CEO. She as the CEO, she should be able to craft a vision for the site and be able to do what she needs to do in order to realize that vision, right? And if that vision is a site that, where they charge people for AMAs and there's no Nazis on it, then that's their thing, right? And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Seriously. That's really all it comes down to. Adios, folks.